Hey there! Today we're making something that's simple, beautiful, and surprisingly satisfying. A small wooden bud vase. It's one of those projects that don't take a lot of time and are really fun to make and even more fun to customize and really make it your own. And you don't need any fancy tools either. You don't even need the ones that you'll see me using. If you can cut a block of wood and drill a hole in the top, you can make a bud vase. And when it's done, it's perfect for holding dried flowers, or you can even add this little glass tube for holding water for fresh cut flowers. I'll drop a link down below to the ones that I'm using. So whether you're just getting into woodworking or you've been at it for a while and you're looking for a quick win, this one is definitely worth trying. Let's get into it.
All right, so I'm going to be starting out with a glued up block of figured maple that is 8 1/4 inches wide and 9 inches tall and 2 1/4 inches thick. And then I'm going to start sketching in my design. I like to start up at the top, at the neck, and just kind of work my way down. And I'm just going to go in for something a little asymmetrical, offset to one side. And that's kind of working with the grain of the wood. And of course I keep a nice big eraser handy and just keep at it until I get something that I'm happy with. Then I'll transfer the lines of my neck up to the top of my block, and then I'll connect the corners to identify the middle. And then I'm going to take this over to my drill press, and I'm going to drill a 3/4 inch hole that is 4 3/4 inch deep. And then head over to the bandsaw where we'll get this all cut out. And then I'm going to take my cutout piece and I'm going to place it on one of my offcuts, and that'll get things a little bit square and stable. And I'm going to draw in some lines that will thin out my neck a little bit. And then I'll make those cuts on the bandsaw. And then I'm going to take this over to my router table where I have got a 1 inch radius roundover bit all chucked up. And so, this is a fairly big router bit with a fairly small hunk of wood. And so I'm going to be holding this thing with a clamp, because I kind of like my fingers. I'm actually really pretty attached to them, and so I'd like to keep them around for a while. But I'm just going to do this in 3 passes and keep raising that bit until I get my edges nice and rounded over. And then I'm going to head over to my flex shaft, and using some power carving burrs, I'm going to get my neck shaped and get some of these contours dialed in. And this is just my favorite tool to use for this sort of thing. There's all sorts of tools you could use for this. You could use a file, you could use a rasp, you could use a Dremel, you could use sanders. There's all kinds of things you could use. But this is just what I like to use. And when I'm done, it looks something like that. And now it's time to sand this thing. And one of my favorite ways of doing this is with using one of these cushion pads that you can add to any random orbit sander. And these are really great for getting into all these contours and just getting into all the little curved shapes. I'll leave a link down below as to where I got this one. Alright, this thing is looking great. And so for the finish, I'm using tried and true oil. It's completely natural, super easy to apply. Just wipe it on and let the wood do the rest. You can already see the grain starting to pop, and it really just brings the whole piece to life. I think this oil finish is just the perfect thing to use on a piece like this.
And that's it. It's super simple, but it really looks great with just a single flower or a little dried stem. Projects like this are a great reminder that woodworking doesn't have to be complicated to be fun. Hey, you know what else is fun? Hitting that like and subscribe button. Seriously, give it a try. And if you're interested in picking up one of these vases that I've made, I'll have a few available on my website. I'll drop a link down in the description below. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.